Welcome to the Real Craven County Schools podcast. Today we have Jennifer Benton, a kindergarten teacher at A.H. Bangert Elementary School, and Sarah Weems at Bangert as well, fourth grade teacher. And we are so great to have you on today. Welcome.
Thank you.
And today we had a learning activity that we learned about from Miss Allie Good, your principal, that she shared in regards to helping our neighbors in Western North Carolina after the devastation that they were impacted from Hurricane Helene. So we wanted to have you all on today to talk about that experience. So tell us a little bit about your lesson and activities that you had. Do you want to start, Jennifer?
Sure. I reached out to my sister-in-law, who is currently a counselor at Blowing Rock Elementary School, and I just asked her what she needed or what her children and students needed. And first and foremost, she said, thank you for reaching out to us. But we would appreciate just letters of affirmation, letters of encouragement, just a simple sunshine or a smiley face. So we, as a school, did an index card from K1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Of course, it looks a little different in each grade level. But our kindergartners made smiley faces, anywhere from smiley faces to rainbows to just anything that made them happy. I saw some mountains or some vacation pieces as well. And so we had collected all of those, and fourth grade looked a little bit different with words of affirmation, believe in yourself, you've got this. And then we had sent all of those cards to Blowing Rock Elementary School, where they were received by about 415 students. Those cards were then taken and put it on bulletin boards, where students first came into the walkway and could be greeted in just a wonderful fashion when they got back last Thursday. And then those postcards were also put into a calming place where they were in packets, where these students, whenever they had a need or maybe emotions were high, they could go to that place, they could read those cards, look them over, and just feel warmth and security and knew that someone was thinking about them here in Craven County.
I think that is so incredible because, one of the things that is a highlight, I think, for me, because we've been through hurricanes as well and Hurricane Florence in our area, is that we know exactly what it's like in terms of losing things and the devastation as well. But for your students to be able to share those messages with fellow students and to be able to go through the feelings and trying to make them happy says so much. So especially when we know how supportive Eastern North Carolina has been to the western part of the state, most of the times people were sending supplies and water and all things that were important, warm clothes and blankets. But here our students are trying to make a difference as well in the way in which that they can.
Just the simple message, just thoughtful note cards went a long way. And I kept asking Katie, the counselor, I was like, is there anything else we can do? She's like, that is beautiful. It's received, and our students look forward to seeing that bulletin board every day when they come in. It's a great greeting for them.
Sure. And have you heard from them or how they've adjusted since they've been back? Because I'm sure it's been challenging and hard.
They went back on Thursday, the 24th. It had been hard, so they haven't been really doing academics. They've been more building community, talking about emotions, and when things are not in your control, what do you do? So when that hurricane happened and you couldn't prevent it, what do you do? Right. They have found a newfound love in science and weather because of this. They've also talked about landslides and valleys, so it's brought up a lot of just different things with it. And so they've ran with that, and they're coping.
And I'm sure their students have lots of questions, so those are all great lessons to be able to have a focus on.
Correct.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And Sarah, I know that you had a different experience as well because your fourth graders, I think, wanted to do something in addition to.
We did. So my mother is a former educator, and one of her dear friends teaches at a school in Catawba County. And so we had reached out to her to see if there's anything that we could do to help. And so we decided on letters because similar to the school in Blowing Rock, they're receiving all of these supplies, which are great, but we wanted to be able to kind of brighten students' faces. Mm-hmm. So we partnered with an elementary elementary school that's also a Title I school. And the idea was that from kindergarten to fifth grade, it would be a one-to-one situation. So every single one of our students will write a letter, and every single one of their students will receive their own personal letter. And so again, that kind of looked different from kindergarten through fifth, because kindergartners drew pictures and
I think we had "I care about you," and then they wrote their names,
Right.
and then they drew a picture that went along with it.
And then the upper grades, so third, fourth, and fifth, focus more on those letter writing skills and how can we encourage those students. But it was extremely powerful to see our fourth grade students, specifically since I'm a fourth grade teacher, really connect, because some of them remember what it was like in Florence. Either their family didn't have power or maybe they had moved. They were old enough to remember some of the details of that time in their lives.
Sure, because when we think about it, it really wasn't that long ago.
Right.
And we did experience great devastation here as well. And I remember, all of the collections that we took during that time. And so for you all to be able to make those connections with the students means so much, not only with our students here, but with the students there. So tell me some of the things that you saw that your students, because obviously the lesson was not specifically focused on writing skills. While that's important, that wasn't what this was all about. So what were some of the takeaways that you felt that your students mastered during this time?
For us, we talked a lot about empathy with our upper grade students and what that looks like, what that means, ways that you can show empathy without physically being there to help somebody. And so that was kind of neat to see students have that aha moment, oh, I understand now ways that I can help without physically being there to help somebody, which I don't think a lot of them had really thought about previously.
And that goes a long way.
It does.
All
It
throughout
does.
life.
And kindergarten was a lot like that with empathy also, but just to make someone smile or make someone happy. And it was just a little token that went a long way. It's just like one little act can just make a huge difference. And so those children, took that. Our students said, oh, wow, I can do that here in Eastern North Carolina, and I can make a big impact in Western North Carolina. And it was well received by all of them because they smiled when they were making their note cards, and, they were eager to turn them in and share with you what they were passionate about. And that passion will hopefully resonate in the children in Blowing Rock Elementary School will see that they are loved and they are thought of. And that was the intent.
Absolutely. And we talk about how kindness matters, and it sounds like you definitely made your mark in regards to that. And I understand, Jennifer, that you got some pictures back.
We did. So I had some pictures of some Appalachian football players along with some cheerleaders. And I said, Joseph, is that how you pronounce the one in the app?
Yes.
All right. He was also there in front of it as well. And I just had received some pictures of the actual packet of the warming place where they could go and they could read those cards and whatnot. And you could just see that there was a lot of welcoming. There was a lot of comfort. There was just that knowing piece that someone else is there supporting me and helping me. And it's not an adult, it's children.
Right.
In Eastern North Carolina that are the same age as I am, and some of them, like Sarah had mentioned, have done or been through the same thing. So it was just wonderful to see.
Yeah, making a difference truly matters. And so tell me, if there are things that people still want to do to be able to reach out to Western North Carolina, do you have any suggestions, or other teachers that are watching or parents? Is there anything that you all would like to share, or anything that you all learned from this experience?
Well, I think letter writing is such an easy thing. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do, and there are plenty of schools in Western North Carolina that you could reach out to, I feel like. We touched on two, but there are multiple places in need, and some that haven't even returned back to school yet.
Right.
So,
And I would be happy to make connections if that's something that somebody decides that they want to do and they're not sure how to reach out. So I can help with that if there's anybody watching or listening that decides that that's something that they want to pursue down the road.
Maybe videos of just children supporting other children, just smiles in the face. A simple joke, which a lot of those cards had. There were many jokes in there that children could read, and you could just see that smile light up their face. I know that they have mentioned not necessarily supplies, but they need maybe gift cards in that aspect, or, anywhere. What else did they say?
And I remember that too when our families came back, that was something that when people had donated, they asked, and gift cards were always something that was very well
Cleaning,
appreciated.
yeah, cleaning supplies like vinegar, mold cleaning supplies, carbon monoxide, dehumidifiers were all things that were mentioned as well.
Well, I truly thank you all. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
We're just so happy that we could participate in this and that our students were able to participate in this as well and just see the difference that they're making. So we're very proud of our students.
Yes, and we are
We
too.
are. Yes, we're very proud and hope to keep making smiles and kindness be something that we do on a daily basis.
And it definitely makes a difference and it matters. So thank you both for making your mark and for making your difference. We truly appreciate you. And we thank you for coming on today.
Thank
Thank
you so much
you.
for having us.
Thank you.